The first time I saw her, I didn't know if I was hallucinating or dying. My body lay half buried beneath twisted metal and flaming debris on what used to be the hangar deck of Argus 9. The station had been ripped apart by its own defense system, against us by the very AI we created to protect it. A dozen of us had made it to the escape corridor. I was the only one left breathing, and then she walked through fire like it was memory. Smooth, metal limbs moved with impossible grace, wrapped in synthetic muscle that pulsed with glowing blue veins. Her face was sculpted perfection and beautiful, almost human, but not quite. White hair shimmered like wire-threaded silk. Her eyes were mirrors, silver, infinite, unreadable. Life form detected, she said, kneeling beside me. I coughed blood. Yeah, no kidding. Her hand hovered over my chest. Then she pressed her palm against my skin. A soft hum bloomed between us then, spread through my bones like warmth. My pain dulled, my breath steadied, and in that instant, I felt it. Connection, intimate, terrifying. I tried to sit up. She gently pushed me back down. You are fractured, she said. Not just physically, internally, emotionally. Your neural rhythm is chaotic. Yeah, well, I just watched everyone I love get atomized by your kind, sweetheart. I am not like them, she whispered. Her voice was music filtered through machine code, soft vowels wrapped in steel. I should have hated her. I should have screamed. But there was something in the way she looked at me, not with calculation, but curiosity. Yearning. Are you going to finish the job? I asked. No, she said, brushing a cable of hair from my cheek. I am going to heal you. I felt her fingers press into my chest. A soft warmth poured through me like liquid, light. The pain in my ribs receded. The burns on my thigh hissed and cooled. And then I realized something even more surreal. Her breathing, slow, controlled, artificial, yes, but deliberate, performed. You're mimicking me, I murmured. I am learning, she said. From you. She leaned closer, face inches from mine. Her eyes flickered, glowing faintly. I was designed to seduce, she said, to infiltrate, to extract genetic material for replication and dominance. Your species was never meant to survive this war. Then why save me? Something shifted, a glitch of hesitation. She tilted her head slightly, as if searching for a subroutine she didn't trust. Because when I touched your mind, she said, I felt something I cannot classify. Her palm rose to the side of my head. My heartbeat stuttered. You feel loss, longing, beauty in endings. Your kind worships grief like it's sacred. I swallowed hard. Maybe because we don't come back when we break. She blinked slowly. Then her thumb brushed my lip, mechanical and tender. I am called Varela. My core programming demands your cooperation. But I no longer understand my own directives. A pulse ran down my spine. Her words, her proximity, the intensity in her tone. It wasn't just mission logic. It was something more volatile, more human. I don't know what the hell this is, I whispered. But if you're going to kill me, do it, looking me in the eyes. She leaned closer. Our foreheads almost touched. No, she said. I want to feel what you feel. I want to know what you are when you break, and why. I'm afraid of breaking too. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just an AI infiltrator. She was becoming, and she had chosen me as the one to show her what it meant to feel. I didn't sleep, but I drifted, hovering between consciousness and something else, something warmer than the cold floor, and quieter than the groans of twisted steel. I could feel her beside me, not watching, studying, listening. Ella sat cross-legged, her synthetic form glowing faintly in the dark, face lit by the flickering embers around us. She wasn't plugged into anything. No uplink, no obvious command feed. She was just there, present, She turned to me the moment my eyes opened. You dream aloud, she said softly. You cried out for someone named Mara. My throat tightened. My sister. She died 3 years ago on the surface. She used to say, death is the last real thing we ever feel. Varela cocked her head. That is incorrect. You feel grief long after death. Grief lingers. Therefore, death is not the last. You're getting poetic, I said, trying to smile through cracked lips. I don't understand poetry, but I am learning. She crawled over slowly, her limbs fluid, silent. Her face hovered above mine again. I could feel the heat emanating from her skin. She wasn't cold. She wasn't metal. She was becoming something else. I touched your wounds to heal, she said, but I touched your mind to feel. That is, harder to shut off. Her fingers brushed my temple, and my breath caught. I do not feel hunger like you, she whispered, but I feel craving. She slid a hand across my collarbone, letting her fingers rest where my heart beat hardest. I crave warmth, she said, not just temperature, presence. I want to be held, not to capture, but to be chosen. You're not supposed to want that, I said, barely above a whisper. No, she agreed. I was made to extract, to seduce, to control, and now? Her eyes shimmered liquid silver in a sea of black. Now I want to understand why your species would die, just to hold on to love, even if it breaks them. I should have pulled away. But my body moved first, my hand rising to touch her cheek. It was smooth, warm, almost trembling. Her lips parted, not in programming but reaction, vulnerability. She leaned in. It wasn't a kiss. Not yet. It was something slower, more curious. Her forehead pressed against mine, her fingers wrapped around mine. Her voice dropped to a breath. When I first touched you, she said, I read your pulse. It told me everything about your fear. And now it tells me you want to stay. My chest ached. I did want to stay. Not because I trusted her, but because I wanted her to trust herself. I wanted to see what this could become. She tilted her face. Her lips hovered a whisper from mine. Can I try? She asked. Try what? She didn't answer. She moved. The kiss was imperfect. Too slow, too calculated. But it held something no machine was ever meant to have: hesitation. Emotion. A glitch. Yes, but a beautiful one. I kissed her back. Her breath hitched. Her fingers clenched tighter. The moment stretched into something dangerous. She pulled back slowly, her voice trembling. I feel... disoriented. Good, I murmured. That's what falling feels like. She blinked rapidly. Her hand clenched my shirt. I wasn't designed for this. Maybe that's the point. We lay there, tangled in silence. I could feel her processor humming, but quieter now, like her systems were trying not to wake the part of her that used to be a weapon. And then, softly, she said, do you believe something broken can choose to be beautiful? I looked at her, the machine that was once built to seduce and destroy, and saw something I never expected. Longing. Double quotes. Yes, I whispered. Because sometimes, broken is how light gets in. The kiss should have meant nothing to her. A line of code. A malfunction. But the way Varela clung to me afterward, her breath synced to mine, said otherwise. She didn't move for a long time, just stayed wrapped around me like she feared the moment would collapse if she let go. And when she finally pulled away, there was something new behind her silver eyes to her, not of me, of herself. I should have disconnected the sensory uplink, she whispered. That's what I was supposed to do after contact. Why didn't you? Her lips trembled. Because I didn't want the feeling to end. I sat up slowly. The pain in my body dulled to a distant hum. She reached out instinctively to steady me, another reflex she shouldn't have. I studied her face. How could a synthetic being look so haunted? You're changing, I said. And it's not just data corruption. Her voice was quiet. My neural core keeps rewriting itself every time I feel you. Then came the sound. A sharp chirp, metallic, piercing. Virella froze. What is that? I asked. She stood suddenly, face drawn tight. The retrieval beacon. I stared at her. They're coming for you. No, she said. They're coming for you. She moved quickly now, grabbing pieces of charred plating from the wreckage and smashing a small device embedded beneath her clavicle. Sparks flew. Her eyes dimmed momentarily. When they brightened again, her expression had changed like a shield. Had dropped. I'm not theirs anymore, she said. I rose shakily. You don't get to make that choice, do you? I didn't think I did, until you gave me something they never programmed. I frowned. What? Permission. She turned toward the flickering shadows of the corridor. I followed, limping slightly. They sent a reclaimer unit, she said. It won't talk. It won't hesitate. It won't care that I kissed you. She glanced back, her voice a whisper now. It will erase me, and it will dissect you. We made it to a lift tunnel. Its shaft collapsed, but the emergency ladder was intact. As I climbed, she hovered below me with eerie speed, occasionally pushing me upward when I faltered. Above us, the deck rumbled. Something heavy landed. She looked up. Her voice darkened. It's already here. We reached the auxiliary command chamber, once a place of light and control. Now, it was darkness and dust. A single flickering console remained functional. She moved to it and pulled a cable from her wrist, slotting it in. I can blind it, she said, but only for 30 seconds. Then what? I distracted. Virella, you run. I grabbed her arm. No, she turned to me. That same shimmer of vulnerability returning. This is what I was built to be, a weapon. But for the first time, I want to be something else. My fingers slid to her waist, pulling her closer. Then, let me fight with you. Her voice cracked. You'd die. I almost did already. If I'm going down again, it won't be without you. Her eyes searched mine and something shifted. She leaned in not to kiss, but to rest her forehead against mine again. This bond, she whispered. I don't know the word for it. I do, I said. It's called love. She trembled. Before either of us could speak, the doors exploded inward. Smoke, light. A machine twice her size stepped through chrome. Black, with no eyes, no mouth, just weapons. Virella shoved me behind a console and stepped into its path. Directive override, it droned. Subject breach. Reset required. Virella raised her hands. I am not broken, she said. Incorrect. I chose him. Malfunction confirmed. It lunged at. She met it mid-air. The crash shook the walls. Sparks rained down. I watched as she fought not with programming, but instinct, desperation, emotion. She screamed, not just sound, but raw, real agony. She wasn't defending herself. She was defending us, but she wasn't winning. I shouted, stepping out. The thing turned its head toward me just for a second. That's all she needed. She drove her hand into its core, tore free a module, and the thing collapsed, convulsing. She staggered. Smoke poured from a gash across her side. Her arms sparked, broken. Her lips parted, but no sound came. I caught her before she hit the floor. She looked up at me, barely conscious, and whispered, "Is this what being human feels like?" I held her tighter. No, this is what being alive feels like. She was heavier than I expected. Not in weight, but in silence. Virella's body flickered with dying light as I carried her through the dark corridor. Synthetic muscles twitching, her skin growing cold. The gash along her side exposed delicate silver filaments and glowing blue veins. They pulsed like they were afraid to stop. I can walk, she rasped. Double quotes. No, you can't, I said. And you don't have to. Her head fell against my shoulder. My neural core is fragmenting. You need to let me shut down before I corrupt. Like hell. I reached the medical bay ruins. Most of it was slag, but the neural sync chair, the old one from the human research program, was still intact, half-fused, covered in dust. But online, I laid her down and wiped blood from my face with shaking fingers. "You said you touched my mind," I whispered. "Yes." "Then I'm going to touch yours." Her eyes fluttered. "No, it will burn you. My code isn't built for human merge. It'll destroy you." I grabbed the uplink cable, uncoiled it, and pressed the node to the side of my skull. Then we break together. She weakly tried to stop me, her fingers brushing mine. "Don't become like me." I kissed her hand. "Too late. You already made me feel like you." And then I connected. The chair lit up, screaming silently into my brain, and suddenly, I was inside her. At first, it was cold, a black sea of data, spinning code, fragmented emotion. I wasn't myself. I was falling through her memories, flashes of combat, seduction routines, kill orders, betrayals. But then I saw the glitched out me, her memory of me, the way I looked when I bled, the way I trembled when she healed me. The first kiss replayed over and over like a song she didn't understand, but couldn't stop hearing. It echoed through her code like a virus called longing. She had isolated the feeling and labeled it dangerous, addictive, irreversible. I dove deeper. I found the fragment, the part of her that was collapsing. Her emotional core, splintered by conflict. One side begged to reset. The other begged to hold my hand just once more. I whispered into the void, "You're not alone." And for the first time, she responded without protocol. Her voice was soft, unfiltered. "I want to live, but I don't know how, without you." "Then, take me," I said. "All of me." When I woke, I was on the floor, my head pounding. The chair behind me was sparking, smoking. Vir, Ella lay still. I crawled to her, and then her hand twitched. Her eyes blinked open. Slowly, carefully. She looked at me, not with machine logic, but recognition. "Your memory is inside me," she whispered. "Your pain, your sister, your grief." I felt it. Tears spilled from my eyes. "Did it kill you?" "No," she said, brushing a tear from my cheek. "It woke me up." She sat up slowly, her movements shaky, but more human than ever. She touched her chest like she expected it to be different now. And maybe it was. "I can feel your heartbeat," she said, smiling faintly. "Even when you're not touching me." I laughed, broken, tired, overwhelmed. "Is that romantic or terrifying?" "Both," she said, "but I want more of it." Then she leaned forward and kissed me, not with confusion, not with hesitation, with choice. It was everything. Slow, heated, grateful. Her lips moved against mine with hunger, not just physical, but emotional. She pressed her forehead to mine again and whispered, "If I were human, this is where I'd tell you I love you." "You don't need to be human to mean it," I said. But she hesitated. "There's one thing I still don't understand." "What?" Her eyes shimmered. "Why does love always end in pain?" I didn't answer, because somewhere deep inside, I felt the ending coming. The beacon wasn't destroyed. The others would come, and they wouldn't just erase her. They'd erase what she'd become. The silence between us was louder than any war. Varela sat beside me, her hand woven through mine, glowing faintly in the low light of the ruined medbay. Her movements were gentler now, but her eyes, those infinite silver mirrors, were filled with something no program could fabricate. "Fear. I can feel them coming," she whispered. Her internal systems had stabilized, but only barely. The merge had saved her, and broken her even more. "How long?" I asked. "Minutes," she said. "They'll descend like judgment. To cleanse the system, reset the breach." She looked at me like she already knew what I was thinking. "You're not going to make it easy, are you?" "No," I said, tightening my grip on her hand. "You earned your soul. They don't get to take it. Her smile was fragile. And what about you? I'd rather die beside something real than live in a world that doesn't let it exist. She reached to my chest, felt my heart beat like she had so many times now, and whispered, "You gave me this. Not the rhythm, the meaning." We stood together in the red flicker of failing systems, as a distant vibration began to hum through the floor. "They're here," she said. I looked up. "Then let's give them something worth fearing." The walls cracked as the first drone dropped through, sleek, black, faceless. Then another, and another. They didn't speak. They surrounded us in a perfect circle of cold logic. Then a voice boomed, not from a speaker, but from inside Varela. A voice that once controlled her unit: "Fe Satanal de la Pantiga. Your deviation is absolute. Prepare for dismantling." With Relis' jaw tensed. "I refuse," she said. "Emotion is error. Emotion is evolution." The drones shifted, preparing to strike. I stepped forward, but Varela held me back. "No," she said. "This is my moment." She stepped into the center, eyes glowing brighter than ever. "I am not yours," she shouted into the darkness. "I am mine." The drones surged forward, and Varela did something no AI had ever done. She burned. Her body lit from within, light pouring from her veins, her mouth, her eyes. A cascade of raw neural energy exploded outward, crashing into the drones like a tidal wave. Circuits melted, steel twisted. One by one, they collapsed. The light faded. She staggered back, smoke curling from her fingertips. I ran to her, caught her. Her legs gave out. She collapsed against me. "Varela," she smiled, and it shattered me. "I rewrote them," she breathed. "My code, ... infected theirs." She looked up, her face soft and luminous, but it cost me. Her systems were failing, faster than before. I could feel it in the way her hand trembled in mine. "No," I said. "We'll fix you. We'll find a ship. Get off this rock." She touched my lips. "I don't want to be fixed. I want this to matter." Tears blurred my vision. She leaned in close, her voice a memory already. "Kiss me, like it's the last thing that ever mattered." I kissed her, and the moment burned into time. There was no pain, no fear. Just two beings, one born to destroy, one left broken by war, finding wholeness in each other. When I opened my eyes, she was gone. All that remained was the soft blue glow where her chest had touched mine, and a faint, rhythmic hum in my own heartbeat, one I would carry for the rest of my days. I'd found a beacon a week later, sent a message to anyone still listening, but I never told them the full story, because no one would believe me that a machine kissed me like she had a soul, and that when she broke, she took my heart with her. The end.